83 million. That's not a lottery number. That's not a population stat from some country you can't find on a map. That's how many American homes get hit by power outages every single year. 83 million. And the average blackout? 6 hours. Some last days. Some in the wrong season, in the wrong state, with the wrong infrastructure. Some last weeks. And you know what most people do when the lights go out? They grab their phone, turn on the flashlight, and sit there. Like a very expensive, very temporary candle. Battery draining at 2% a minute while they scroll through outage reports on a cell tower that's about to go down too. That's not a plan, that's a countdown. But here's the thing. And this is the part that's going to either make you feel very smart or very stupid depending on what you do after watching this. I walked into a Dollar Tree with $38. 38. That's less than a tank of gas. Less than 2 large pizzas delivered to your door. Less than that impulse buy sitting in your Amazon cart right now that you don't need and never will. And I walked out with a complete power outage survival kit. 14 items, 5 categories. Covers light, heat, food, communication, and comfort for up to 72 hours. 1 store, 1 trip, 0 excuses left. So let's talk about what happens when the grid quits on you and why $38 is the difference between sitting in the dark, hoping, and actually being ready. The cascade. Why blackouts actually kill. Rule number 1 of blackout survival. And write this one down if you can still see. The dark doesn't kill you. The cascade does. People think a power outage is an inconvenience. Lights off, bummer, light a candle, wait it out. And for a 2-hour flicker in July, sure, fine. But stretch that timeline, stretch it to 6 hours, 12, 24, and watch what happens. No lights means you can't see. Can't see means you can't cook safely. Can't cook means cold food or no food. No power means no fridge, so your food is rotting as we speak. No power means no phone charger. No phone means no weather alerts, no emergency updates, no way to know if the power company even knows you exist. And if it's January, no power means no furnace. No furnace means that your house drops below 60 degrees in 4 hours, below 50 in 8. Hypothermia starts at 95 degrees body temperature, and your living room will get there faster than you think. 1 problem becomes 5 problems in 20 minutes. 5 problems become a genuine emergency in a few hours. And a genuine emergency in the dark, with no information, no heat, and hungry people around you, that becomes chaos. Now, the prepper industry knows this. Oh, they know it very well, and they are more than happy to sell you a solution. For $80, $120, $200. Deluxe tactical blackout kits in Pelican cases with infrared headlamps and freeze-dried risotto and a hand crank radio that also charges your phone and probably files your taxes. And look, some of that stuff is great. If you've got the budget, go for it. But here's the dirty little secret the tactical gear companies don't want you to think about. You don't need fancy, you need functional. A $100 headlamp and a Dollar Tree flashlight both do the same thing. They make photons. And photons don't care about your brand loyalty. So let's build this thing. Category by category, item by item, every dollar tracked. And by the end, you'll have something that 90% of American households don't. An actual plan that fits in a single bag. Let's start with the most obvious problem. The one that starts the entire cascade. Category 1, light, because your phone flashlight is a countdown timer. Your phone flashlight draws about 200 milliamps. That's roughly 2 to 3% battery per hour, and you need that battery for communication, for emergency calls, for information. Burning it on a flashlight is like using $100 bills as kindling. Technically works, strategically suicidal, so you need dedicated light sources, plural. Because here's what nobody tells you about lighting in a blackout. You don't need one light, you need light types. Ambient light to fill a room so people don't trip over furniture. Directed light to do tasks, check the breaker, find the first aid kit, and sustained light for when the first 2 run out and you're staring down an 8-hour night. 3 types of light, 4 items, under $7. Let's go. Item 1, LED puck, push lights, 3-pack, $3, Dollar Tree Plus section. Small, flat, battery-powered discs with an adhesive back. You peel, you stick, you press. Light, that's it. No fumbling in the dark for a switch, no searching for matches. You walk up to the wall and slap it like it owes you money. Done. 1 in the bathroom, 1 in the kitchen, 1 in the hallway. Pre-mounted, pre-positioned, ready before the outage ever hits. Your kid needs the bathroom at 2 in the morning during a blackout? Push light's already there. Press and go. Budget hack. Mounting them now, before you need them, costs nothing extra. The adhesive is included. You're just making a decision today that saves you panic tomorrow. Item 2. LED flashlight. $1.25. This is your directed beam. The push lights give you a glow. This gives you a spotlight. You need to check the breaker box in the basement? Flashlight? Need to walk to the car in the dark? Flashlight. Point and click. But here's the real move. Take the flashlight, turn it on, stick it inside a gallon milk jug filled with water. The water diffuses the beam in every direction and turns a focused spotlight into a lantern that fills an entire room. Free. 4 seconds. Works better than most camping lanterns I've tested. You just built a lantern out of garbage. Item 3. 8-hour emergency candles. $1.25. Candles? What is this, the 1800s? Yes. Because you know what worked in the 1800s? Candles. You know what doesn't need batteries? Candles. You know what provides 8 continuous hours of light from a single unit with 0 mechanical failure points? That's right, your flashlight batteries will dim, your push lights will fade, but a candle burns for 8 hours on nothing but wax and a wick and the fundamental chemistry of combustion. Physics doesn't care about product cycles. Place it in a glass jar or on a ceramic plate you already own. The reflective surface doubles the effective light output. Cost of that upgrade, 0. Item 4. Utility lighter, long reach, Merstri. $1.25. You bought candles, genius. Now you need to light them. And fumbling with a tiny Bic lighter while your hands are cold and shaking and you can't see is a fast track to a first-degree burn. Long reach lighter. Keeps your fingers 6 inches from the flame. Works in a breeze. And here's the hidden bonus that makes this $125 purchase worth 10 times its price. If you have a gas stove with an electronic ignition that won't spark without power, this lighter turns your dead stove back into a functioning stove. You just bought the ability to cook hot food during a blackout. Store it in the kit. Not in that mystery drawer in the kitchen where you keep takeout menus and a single battery of unknown charge. In the kit. Dedicated. That's your entire lighting system. 4 items. $6.75. Less than a large fancy coffee. And your fancy coffee has never once helped you navigate a dark house at 3 a.m. during an ice storm. But light doesn't keep you warm. And if you think being able to see is the whole battle, you've never sat in a 55-degree house watching your own breath fog up in front of you. Category 2. Heat. 3.5 degrees between functional and finished. The human body is a furnace that runs at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit and it wants to stay there badly. Drop it to 95 and you've entered hypothermia territory. Your muscles start to seize. Your thinking gets slow and sloppy. Your coordination falls apart. And that's at 95. Only 3.5 degrees below normal. 3.5 degrees is the line between walking and crawling. The average American home loses about 1 degree of interior temperature per hour once the heating fails. Nice insulated house? Maybe a degree every 90 minutes. Older house, bad windows, drafty doors, a degree every 30 to 40 minutes. A winter outage starting at 68 degrees indoors hits the danger zone in a single overnight. You need heat solutions that cost almost nothing and work immediately. Item 5. Mylar Emergency Blanket. $1.25. This crinkly sheet of space-age foil reflects up to 90% of your body heat back to you. 90%. Same reflective technology NASA uses in spacecraft insulation, and you're buying it at Dollar Tree next to a rack of birthday candles. Here's how to use it because most people get this wrong. You do not wrap yourself in the Mylar blanket alone. It's not insulation, it's reflection. Mylar first against your body, then a regular blanket or the fleece throw over it. The Mylar reflects your radiant body heat inward. The outer blanket traps that reflected heat and prevents convective loss. 2 layers, 2 different physics principles working together. Budget hack. Tape a sheet of Mylar to the wall behind wherever you sleep. It acts as a radiant barrier, reflecting body heat and candle warmth back into the room instead of letting it absorb into the cold wall. Same principle as putting tinfoil behind a radiator. Item 6. Hand warmers, multi-pack, $3 Dollar Tree Plus. Iron powder, water, salt, activated charcoal in a pouch. Expose them to air, and an exothermic oxidation reaction kicks in, basically controlled rusting that generates heat. Chemistry doesn't need a power outlet. Each one runs 8 to 10 hours at 130 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Your extremities lose heat first. Blood flow to your hands drops, dexterity crashes, and suddenly you can't open a can, can't grip a flashlight, can't button a jacket. You become functionally useless because your hands stopped cooperating. Crack 2. Jacket pockets, or your gloves, or at the bottom of your sleeping bag by your feet. 8 hours of portable heat, exactly where your body loses it fastest. Item 7. Fleece throw blanket, $5 Dollar Tree Plus. And I specifically say fleece for a reason that most people don't know. Fleece insulates when wet. Cotton doesn't. This matters because stress sweating is real. Cold sweats are real. Moisture conducts heat away from your body 25 times faster than dry air. Cotton holds that moisture against your skin and actively makes you colder. There's a saying in survival circles, cotton kills. Fleece is synthetic. It maintains loft, those tiny air pockets that trap warm air, even when damp. Keeps insulating regardless of what your body is doing. And it's soft enough to actually sleep under, which matters because rest is a survival tool. Budget hack. Hang it over a doorway to seal off one room. You're not heating the whole house, you're heating one room. Smaller space equals less air volume to warm. Body heat from 2 or 3 people in a sealed room with mylar on the walls and fleece blocking the door can keep that space 20 degrees warmer than the rest of the house. Zero cost, pure physics. That's your heat system locked down. 3 items, $9.25. Your body stays at 98.6 where it belongs, and the whole thing costs less than a Chipotle order. But warmth and light only get you so far when your stomach starts making noises that sound like structural damage. And here's the irony that'll drive you crazy. Category 3. Food prep. Your pantry is already a survival cache. You just can't access it. Most American pantries are already stocked with enough canned goods to survive a week-long outage. Soup, beans, tuna, vegetables, fruit, chili. It's right there. Sitting on the shelf, ready, and it's completely useless if you can't open it. Electric can opener. Plugged into the wall. Power goes out. Can opener becomes a sculpture, and you're standing there holding a can of chicken noodle soup, staring at the tabless lid like it personally betrayed you, wondering if you can pry it open with a knife without losing a finger. Item 8. Manual can opener. $1.25. The most boring, least tactical, most important item in this entire kit. A metal claw that opens cans. That's the whole thing, and it unlocks every single can in your pantry. $1.25 is the difference between eating and not eating on day 2 when your fridge food has gone bad and the only calories left are sealed in aluminum. Budget hack, and I cannot stress this enough. Test it before you need it. This week, open a can of beans. If it works smooth, you're good. If it's a dud, and some cheap ones are, swap it for another $1.25. The worst time to discover your can opener doesn't work is when you're hungry, stressed, and operating by candlelight. Item 9. Water bottles. Pack, $5, Dollar Tree Plus. And look, I have tap water. Do you? Municipal water systems run on pumps. Pumps run on electricity. Wide area power outages can drop water pressure or knock it out entirely. Even if water still flows, some treatment facilities lose processing capability during extended outages. That's when boil water advisories show up on your phone. Oh wait, your phone is dead because you used it as a flashlight for 3 hours. Sealed, store-bought water is your baseline. You know it's clean, you know how much you have. You can count bottles and do the math on rationing. Budget hack. Sharpie the purchase date on the pack. Rotate every 6 months. Drink the old ones, buy fresh. Free freshness tracking system. Item 10. Paper plates and utensils, $1.25. No power means no hot water means no dishwashing. And if you're rationing your bottled water for drinking, which you absolutely should be, the last thing you want is burning 2-gallon scrubbing plates. Paper plates. Plastic forks, use them. Trash bag them. Kitchen stays sanitary. Water stays in the bottles where it belongs. Hygiene sounds like a luxury during an emergency, but it's a frontline defense against the gastrointestinal problems that turn manageable into miserable fast. Food prep, done. 3 items, $7.50. Your family eats, drinks, and keeps the kitchen sanitary. All of it for less than a single delivered pizza. But here's the gap that nobody talks about until it's too late. You're fed, you're warm, you can see. Great. But you're also completely, totally, absolutely cut off from the outside world. And that's where things get scary in a way that has nothing to do with temperature or calories. Category 4. Communication. The silence is the real emergency. Your phone is everything. Computer, camera, flashlight, GPS, weather station, entertainment center. And it runs on a battery that dies in 6 to 8 hours under normal use. Under stress. Screen on, flashlight running, refreshing weather apps, maybe 3 hours. Once it's dead, you have nothing. No weather alerts, no emergency broadcasts, no way to know if the outage is a blown transformer that'll be fixed by morning or a regional grid failure lasting a week. You are sitting in the dark, warm, and fed, and you have absolutely no idea what is happening outside your walls. That's not just inconvenient, that's dangerous. Because without information, you can't make decisions. Do you stay or leave? Is the storm getting worse or passing? Are roads passable? You don't know, and making decisions without information is just guessing with consequences. Item 11. Portable radio. $5 Dollar Tree Plus. And this is the single most important item in the entire kit by a factor that's hard to overstate. Cell towers have backup batteries that last 4 to 8 hours. After that, they go down too. Internet obviously requires power, but AM and FM radio transmitters have massive backup generators. They're designed to stay on during emergencies. It's literally their job. NOAA weather radio broadcasts 24/7 on dedicated frequencies with automated emergency alerts for your specific area. When everything else is dark and silent, radio is still talking. Electromagnetic waves traveling at the speed of light from a transmitter to your $5 radio. No internet, no cell tower, no subscription, no login, just physics. Prep ahead hack. Take the radio out now. Turn it on. Find your local NOAA weather station frequency, usually between 162.400 and 162.550 MHz. Write that frequency on a piece of tape. Stick it to the radio. Emergency hits, you tune in 10 seconds flat. No fumbling, no searching. Item 12. AA batteries, 8-pack, $5 Dollar Tree Plus. Without these, half your kit is a collection of battery-shaped holes. Radio takes 2 AAs, flashlight takes 2 AAs. That's one full set per device with a complete backup set in reserve. 4 days of radio and flashlight operation from a single $5 purchase. And here's the storage trick that everyone should know and almost nobody does. Remove the batteries from your devices before storing the kit. Batteries left inside electronics corrode over time. The zinc casing breaks down, alkaline paste leaks out, destroys the contact points. You come back 6 months later and your $5 radio is dead because one 25-cent battery dissolved inside it. Ziploc bag. Inside the kit. Tape a note to each device. Batteries in bag. 30 seconds of effort. Saves every electronic in your kit. Communication wise and handled. 2 items, $10. You're connected to emergency broadcasts when every other piece of consumer technology in your house is a paperweight. $10. That's 2 gas station coffees. And those coffees never once told you if a tornado was headed your way. Now, the section that surprises people, because we've covered the big 4. Light, heat, food, information, and most budget kit lists stop here, but they shouldn't. Because there's a 5th category that determines whether you handle 72 hours like a competent adult or fall apart on hour 8. Category 5, comfort. The category that actually decides if you make it before you roll your eyes. Let me reframe. Comfort in a survival context doesn't mean luxury. It means damage control for the things that go wrong when humans are stressed, operating in the dark, and doing unfamiliar things in suboptimal conditions. You bump into furniture. You cut yourself on a can lid by candlelight. The kid trips on a step she can't see. Someone gets a stress headache. A windowsill cracks and cold air floods in with no hardware store open. Comfort is the line between manageable inconvenience and compounding disaster. Item 13. Travel First Aid Kit. $3 Dollar Tree Plus. Band-aids, antiseptic wipes, gauze pads, adhesive tape. The basics that stop a minor injury from becoming a major problem. In a blackout, minor injuries happen constantly. Stubbed toes on furniture, burned fingers on hot wax, cuts from opening cans, scraped shins on stairs you misjudged in the dark. None are emergencies alone. But dealing with a bleeding finger when you can't see, can't wash the wound under running water, and the nearest open pharmacy is 20 miles away? That $3 kit is suddenly the most valuable thing in your house. Budget hack. Raid your medicine cabinet. Throw in ibuprofen and acetaminophen. Stress headaches during outages are nearly universal. Tension, cold, disrupted sleep, low-level anxiety, your head will throb. A 200 milligram ibuprofen is the difference between functioning and lying on the couch wishing for unconsciousness. Free edition. Massive upgrade. Item 14. Duct tape, $1.25, the universal problem solver. Let me give you the 5 blackout uses that matter most. 1. Seal a drafty window crack, 3 strips, immediate temperature improvement. 2. Tape a flashlight to a shelf pointed at the ceiling for hands-free room lighting. 3. Fix a broken cabinet latch that keeps swinging open. 4. Tear small strips and stick them to the floor to mark a path you can feel with your feet in total darkness. Bedroom to bathroom, bedroom to kitchen. 5. Secure the blanket over the doorway to seal your warm room. 1 roll, infinite applications, $1.25. Storage hack, wrap 5 to 6 feet around an old gift card. Flat, compact, takes up almost no space. More than enough for any blackout scenario. And that wraps category 5. 2 items, $4.25. Damage control handled. Grand total for the entire kit, $37.75. The full picture, $38 that change everything. Let's lay it all out. Lighting, 4 items, $6.75. Ambient, directed and sustained light plus ignition. Your phone stays in your pocket with its battery intact. Heat, 3 items, $9.25. Radiant reflection, portable extremity warming, and synthetic insulation that works even when you're sweating. Your body stays at 98.6 where it belongs. Food prep, 3 items, $7.50. Every can in your pantry accessible. Clean water on hand. Kitchen stays sanitary without running water. Communication, 2 items, $10. Connected to NOAA and local emergency broadcasts when everything digital is dead. Decisions based on facts, not guesses. Comfort, 2 items, $4.25. Minor injuries treated. Structural problems improvised. Headaches managed. 14 items, 5 categories, $37.75. Call it $38. Less than a tank of gas. Less than a Friday night pizza for 4. And it covers you for 72 hours across every major system failure a power outage causes. Not theoretical, not someday. One trip, one store, done. Don't let the kit rot. Storage and maintenance. Here's the one mistake that ruins most emergency kits. It's not the gear, it's the neglect. People buy supplies, feel good for 45 minutes, shove everything in a closet, and forget. 6 months later, the batteries have corroded. A year later, half the stuff is expired or missing. 2 years later, they find the kit during spring cleaning and throw it away. Container, tote bin, bucket, backpack, duffel bag, whatever you already own, everything fits in a single container. Label it with a Sharpie. Blackout kit, capital letters, obnoxious, impossible to miss. Location on somewhere you can reach in 60 seconds in total darkness. That's the test. Close your eyes. Navigate from your bed to the kit's location. If you make it without injury, good spot. If not, move it. Hall closet, under the bed, not the attic. You're not climbing a ladder in the dark. Not the basement if it floods. Maintenance, 2 dates a year, January 1st and July 1st. Set a phone reminder right now. When it goes off, spend 2 minutes. Check batteries for corrosion, test the lighter, test the can opener, check hand warmer expiration dates, rotate the water. That's it. 2 minutes, twice a year. 12 months of confidence that your kit works when you need it. The kit is the equipment. The maintenance is the insurance. Skip the insurance and the equipment fails when it matters most. The hard truth, what this kit isn't. This kit is not invincible. It's not a bunker. It's not a generator. It's not a 6-month food supply. It's $38 of practical tools covering the first 72 hours, which statistically handles 95% of all blackout scenarios in the United States. But ice storms take down entire grids. Hurricanes knock out power for weeks. Infrastructure failures cascade across state lines. Those happen too. This is your foundation, your starting point. Your I am not completely helpless when the lights go out baseline. Maybe next month you add a portable phone charger. Month after that, more water. Eventually maybe a generator. But you cannot build on a foundation that doesn't exist. And right now, most families have nothing. They have a phone flashlight and hope. And hope, as a survival strategy, has a perfect 0% success rate. Final word, do it this week. Here's what I want you to do. Not next week. Not when you get around to it. This week, drive to Dollar Tree, walk the aisles, grab these 14 items, put them in a bag, drive home. Put the bag somewhere you can find it in the dark. $38 and 20 minutes of your time buys you something most families in this country genuinely do not have. A plan that actually works. If this helped, hit subscribe. I do budget builds like this every week. Real prices, real stores, real gear that real people can actually afford. No $100 tactical kits, no gatekeeping. Drop a comment and tell me what's already in your blackout kit. Or tell me you don't have one yet. I read every single one. Stay ready, stay sharp. And for the love of everything, test the can opener before you need it.